Hi student, welcome back for the science standard 7th lesson number 4, nutrition in living organisms. Student, today we are going to start our page number 30, that is always remember. Food gets spoiled due to the some fungi. Some fungi causes diseases or illness, while some fungi you have medicinal properties. Means just like a animals, some are useful, some are harmful to us. Like this way, fungi also, some are useful and some are harmful to us. Now see the useful are there. Yeast and some mushrooms are useful. Yeast is used in fermentation process and for making breads. Mushrooms are rich source of iron and the vitamins. You can enjoy the mushroom dishes in the different seasons. Role of nutrients and the effect of their food, effect of their deficiency on the plant, means the nutrient need for the every plant. They are nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, manganese, iron, magnesium and the zinc. These nutrition every plant need, and their function is also there. And if they not get this nutrient, then what effect will happen, we will see now one by one. Nitrogen function, important component of proteins, chlorophyll and cytoplasm. And if its deficiency occurs, then what effect will happen on the plant? Retarded growth, means very slow growth, and yellowing of the leaves. Second one, phosphorus. Phosphorus conversion of light energy into the chemical energy. We know the photosynthesis process. Light energy is used to convert into the chemical energy. That time phosphorus is used. If its deficiency happen, then what will happen? Early leaf fall, late flowering, slow growth of roots. Next one, potassium. Necessary for metabolism activities. If deficiency occurs, then weak stem, wilting of leaves, means scratched leaves, means सुरकुत्या पडणे. Failure to the production of the carbohydrates. Magnesium, production of chlorophyll. If deficiency is there, then slow and retarded growth, yellowing of leaves. Iron, it also used for the production of the chlorophyll. If deficiency occurs of iron, then yellowing of the leaves will happen. Manganese, production of main plant hormones. How the hormones are there in a human body? Like this way, in the plants also have the hormones, and manganese is used to production of the main plant hormones. And if it is deficiency occurs, then what will happen? Retarded growth and spotted leaves. You can see in your garden or in your surroundings, spotted leaves are there. That time you can conclude that here manganese deficiency is there. Zinc, production of hormones and their intermediates, means other liquids which are required for the production of the hormones. And if deficiency is there, then retarded growth and yellowing of the leaves are there. Observe the plants around you and diagnose the nutrients deficiency, if any. You have to take a round in your surrounding and find out what deficiency is occur in which plant. Here is the first part of the lesson, that is the nutrition in the plants over. Now we will go for the next point, that is the nutrition in the animals. Nutrition in animal. This concept refer to the body need for the nutrients, mode of ingestions food and its use in the body. For that we have to see first, let's recall which are the various nutrients in food and for what purpose are the nutrients used. Now see the answer. There are 6 main nutrients You know this in our food. They are carbohydrates, fats, proteins, fibers, vitamins, and minerals. And nutrients are used for variety of purpose as nutrients are used for obtaining the energy, growth of the body, to carry out the day-to-day function of the body, and to fight against the disease. We need the nutrients. Nutrients necessary for various activities of the body are obtained from the food. They are supplied to the various parts of the body through the blood. The food that we consume does not mix with the blood as it is. It needs to convert into a soluble forms that can easily mix in the food. Nutrition in the animals involves various steps from the ejection to the egestion, means to take food in the body, and from the removal of the waste product. There are 5 steps in the nutrition, and this occurs in the animals. Now first, food is taken into the body, that is ingestion form. Second one, digestion. In the digestion, what will happen? Conversion of food into a simple soluble forms. Why? Because blood supply this to the all body parts, and for that need what we need? Conversion of food into simple soluble forms. Absorption. When food is converted into simple soluble form, then it can transport from the blood. Assimilation. Utilization of absorbed food by cell and tissue for the energy production, growth and repair. And last point, that is the egestion, means removal of waste product and undigested food from the body. These 5 steps are occurs in every animal. Next one, page number 31. Nutrition. Next point, that is the types of nutrition in the animals. First point, holozoic nutrition, means here first see, can you tell? By the question we will start our next point. How does ingestion occurs in the unicellular animal like a amoeba? You can see here amoeba picture is there. In second picture you can see food particle and nuclei. Now see the answer. Amoeba does not have an organ like a hand or mouth. It is a unicellular animal. It can take in food through any part of a surface of its unicellular body. From anywhere he can take the food. It surrounds the food particle, means his other body part, other things, means other part will cover that food from all sides to take it into the cell. After that, it digests the food with the help of different enzymes. Enzymes are present in the amoeba and they will digest the food particle. Undigested food is left behind as amoeba moves further with the help of the pseudopodia. In unicellular animals like amoeba, euglena, paramecium, etc., all the steps of nutrition occur within their unicellular body. All things are happening in their body. Insects have mouth part for ingestion of food. For example, insects like cockroaches and grasshopper, which nibble, have jaw like a mouth part. Butterflies, see the butterfly. Butterflies suck the food with the help of tube like proboscis. Now you can see here with the pointer with the marker arrow I have shown it. Now mosquitoes see. Mosquitoes and bedbugs are used a needle-like mouth part to pierce and a tube-like mouth part to suck the blood and for the other fluid material. Observe and discuss. How will you classify the following animals according to their food type? Now you can see here human being, deer, lion, vulture, then spider, fox is there, parrot is there, and the chameleon is there. Then how see parrot and deer is the herbivorous plant, they eat the grass. Then next one, lion and the fox, they are carnivorous, means they eat the flesh, and chameleon also eat the flesh. Human being omnivorous, means human being can eat the leafy vegetables also and flesh also. And the vulture is what he eat? He eat the dead animals, dead decay body, that is scavengers. He is scavengers. Okay, now we'll go for the further. According to the type of the food, animals can be classified into 5 different types. First is herbivorous. Herbivorous use plants directly as their food. Example for grazing animals, granivores means seed eater and the fruit eaters. They eat it as it is. Next one, carnivorous. Animals that depend on the other animals for their food are called the carnivorous animals. Carnivores are indirectly dependent on the plants for the food. Examples are animals that feed on the herbivorous, means they are predator. Animals that feed on the insects, means insectivorous. Next, third number is omnivorous. Animals that obtain their food from both plants and animals. These are called the omnivorous. For example, monkey, chimpanzee, human being, they are omnivorous. Some of the organisms around us perform the function of cleaning and conserving the environment by the very act of feeding themselves. They are called the scavengers or decomposers. Now, scavengers are animals that consume dead organisms that have died from the cause other than predation, while scavenging generally refer to carnivorous feeding on carrion. It is also a herbivorous feeding behavior. Scavengers play an important role in the ecosystem by consuming dead animals and plant material. 5 number, decomposers. You know that there are some microorganisms which obtain their food by the decomposing the dead bodies of organisms or other materials. Now see the picture. In this picture you can see the scavengers, means they eat the dead animals. Next point, that is saprozoic nutrition. Some insects, unicellular animals, etc. obtain the nutrition by the absorbing the liquid organic material from the dead bodies of the other animals or from the environment. This is Sparozoic nutrition. For example, houseflies, ants, spiders, you can see them. Now, parasitic nutrition. Have you seen a small animals on the bodies of animals like a dog and buffaloes? Which are these small animals? You can see in the picture. From where does this small animal obtain their food? From where do the worm in the intestine obtain their food? Now see the answer. Some animals depend upon other animals for a food. They can obtain the food only from animals on whom they are dependent. They are called parasitic nutrition. Some animals live on the body surface of other animals and obtain their food by sucking their blood. These are called ectoparasitic nutrition, and such animals are called ectoparasites. For example, fleas, bedbugs, ticks, etc. Animals like tapeworm and roundworm live inside the body of other other animals and obtain their food. This endoparasitic nutrition, and these animals are known as endoparasites. Student, you have to read this chapter and write down the new words, new spellings from this lesson. Many new spellings are here that I will give when your exercise is there. Okay, today this much only. We will stop here. Thank you. Have a nice day.